Yeah, Samaritan woman. Yeah, it's hard. That's a hard thing to want to sit at the table at the well with someone who is completely polar opposite from you. Polar opposite in political ideology, theology, stage of life, you name it. Socioeconomic status, race, could be anything. But it's when we choose to sit and when we choose to listen and we choose to speak to each other with an understanding of Christ and who he is and what he's done, then we'll get a little glimpse of unity, I think. And unity does not mean we're all going to agree. I think that we have a kind of unrealistic picture of what unity really looks like. But sitting at the well simply means I'm going to have a posture of humility. I'm going to have the posture of Jesus. I'm going to have the posture of choosing to not walk around this person, not walk all the way around Samaria. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to walk right through it. I'm going to sit down next to someone whose religious beliefs, political beliefs, whatever, are completely different from mine. And I'm going to drink from the cup that they offer. I'm going to share a meal. I'm going to share experience with them. I'm going to live in and amongst that person with them.
Even radical Muslims who cut the heads off of American journalists?
Even so. Even so.
Idealist.
That's right. Even that. If we don't love and choose to love and choose to reconcile even the darkest, most ugly, most horrifying things that we can see in our culture today, a Muslim extremist group that beheads journalists, if we're not willing to pray for them and be willing to see that they too are made in the image of God, if we all of a sudden don't see that anymore, if we can't do it in our darkest, at the hardest moment, then it's not going to stand. It doesn't stand.
You really think the light can shine in that kind of darkness?
I have to. I have to believe that. I have to believe it. I have to believe that light can shine in the darkest of dark. Otherwise, I risk falling into the lie that God is not enough even for this. That God is not big enough. And as much as we want to, we can't put God in a box. We can't limit him, we can't make him smaller, we can't, do any of that. He is God, he's Alpha and Omega, all those things. And to say that I will not sit at the table with that person, or I will not pray for that person, or I will not converse with that person, or I will not share a meal with that person, to say that is to proclaim that God is not big enough even for this. And that is an act of unbelief, I think. And I think that's where that prayer comes in Scripture that says, God, I believe, help my unbelief. If we're not willing to go to and through the gates of hell to proclaim that God is the light of the world, then I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're here for. I mean, we could say that we're here just to, go on with our comfortable Sunday shtick and, our little small groups that make us feel comfortable and safe and that's fine. Or it's not. Or it could just lead to stagnant life, which is not life at all. It's just stagnant. It turns to death. Or we can choose to be changed by the truth that God is bigger and big enough even for that. And if we're going to believe that, then we better act like it. I think. So. We're talking about ISIS.
I'll lose more subscribers.
I know, I'm sorry.
Idea, lose more people.
And be like, she's a Muslim
like,
sympathizer.